The other mutants laugh at me when I let them get too near. 'Cause I have no mutant powers, can't make you quake with fear. The other mutants stare and point, 'cause I have no super strength, can't see through walls or turn invisible. Shoot rays to make you faint. So give 3 cheers for the mutants, pretty little mutants with their pretty mutant names, playing pretty mutant games. All the mutants on the TV, in the comic books and movies, they're not really mutants like me. Not all mutants are the same. When I was a mutant boy, the other mutants tried to play, but when I couldn't fly or shoot out knives, I made them go away. Once I met a mutant girl, she acted like she cared, but when I couldn't melt into her skin, the other mutants stared. So give 3 cheers for the mutants, the pretty little mutants with their pretty mutant names, playing pretty mutant games. All the mutants on the TV, in the comic books and movies, they're not really mutants like me. Not all mutants are the same. They're coming to change me. They want to mutate me. They're coming to stare at me. They're coming to jeer. They want to mutate me. They're gonna berate me. They're coming to get me. They're almost here. They think that they can change me. It's the promise that they swore, but my mutation has been stunted. I can't mutate anymore. They want to create me. They want to mutate me. They're coming to raise me. It gives them joy. They want to improve me. They're gonna remove me. They're coming to fix me. I'll get destroyed. They think that they can change me. It's the promise that they swore, but my mutation has been stunted. I won't mutate anymore.
People of Earth, outer space, all the realm of reality. Welcome to the Freaky Mutant Weirdo streaming variety show. My name is Geverend Dee, and introducing me right now is going to be several of my other friends from a Halo called Fred. Master Control, if you can bring up the other commentators right now. We have joining me, Brushwood, Queenie, Tiny. I believe Professor J.P. McClendon is also going to be joining us. And Chelsea Goodwin for this initial segment. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Geverend.
We can say hello to those streaming at home. Welcome to the Freaky Mutant Weirdo streaming variety show. We are about to begin very shortly the very first segment, beyond the intro, which we saw before, which features a block of material, some by a Halo called Fred, some of you may have heard of. There's some poetry by John S. Hall, a film by Eric Vitner, and some other interesting video by The Eternal Frontier. We also, throughout the evening, we have performances by, let's see, what's the whole list? Trio of Madness, Scott Helland's Guitarmy of One, Nicole Oliva, Dennis Carter, and many other people.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get.
And Mary Beth Rhino says she loves us all. We love you too, Mary Beth Rhino.
We love you.
And Dolly.
That was a dilly of a pickle pass. I agree.
Dolly, I think you're hidden away in at least one of the videos that will be premiered shortly. We miss you too, Amy Whitehouse. Oh, thank you so much.
We certainly do.
Is Professor J.P. McClendon backstage by any chance? No? He had some very snarky things to say.
I was looking for him, but I don't see him yet. So.
Oh, no. Well, we're just going to have to, he's going to have to join us when he's ready. We have some pre-recorded snark from him if, he's not available to do any
Are
live.
we sure Barry the steampunk monster didn't get him?
Oof.
Sure.
We're never
You
sure.
can never be sure.
Yeah, you don't know.
Oh, I'm feeling all the love from all the comments. It is now.
Love you too, Douglas Eager. Hello, Sandra. This is fun. Yay.
This is fun.
Hello, Sandra Blomberg. Everybody's joining us now. I think. Oh, yes, we should do a shout out to Elijah's Promise. They are the charity that we are supporting through this show. So it is a free show, as you all know. The link is down here. If you donate to weblink.donorperfect.com/iguana2021, that is the link that they will know it comes from our show. And you'll see it on the Facebook stream as well. So if you are not able to type it quickly, go onto the Facebook event and you'll see the event there. Our goal is really to raise as much money as we can for them because the need is great right now. There's a lot of hunger in the world. We're coming out of a time when, COVID has really made a bad situation worse. And as the premier anti-hunger agency in New Jersey, they're doing a really awesome job and can use all the help they can get.
Even I'm here trying to help feed people and uncharacteristically not feed people to Cthulhu.
Yeah. It feels a little weird.
We are trying to do good, not evil here, Chelsea. If you could, you're welcome to be our evil nemesis throughout the show if you wish to,
Cthulhu can't donate money, so what good is that?
So if you're watching this in your car and you're driving, so just later on, Google Elijah's Promise, donate.
And now, without further ado, we would like to kick off the next segment of the Freaky Mutant Weirdo variety show. Right now.
I was riding my jet-powered pogo stick through the town, and I met a half man, half robot, half devil, half clown. He turned to me, he said, "Brother, I'm lost. Please tell me where can I go?" I said, "Head on down to the Freaky Mutant Weirdo variety show. It's the Freaky Mutant Weirdo variety show. It's the Freaky Mutant Weirdo variety show." Later on, I was strutting, strolling, and feeling alright. And I met a highly intelligent thought balloon who'd had quite a fright. You see, someone tried to pop him. Imagine that. Almost let those thoughts roll. And he barely escaped to the freaking mutant weirdo variety show. It's the freaky mutant weirdo variety show. It's the freaky mutant weirdo variety show. Then I met some normal people, just as normal as normal can be. I smiled at them, they smiled at all my freaky friends and me. We stared in mutual wonder, our hearts all aglow. And we movied and meandered on down to the freaky mutant weirdo variety show. It's the freaky mutant weirdo variety show. It's the freaky mutant weirdo variety show.
Let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Hello, everybody. I'm John S. Hall. This is Susan Hwang, and you can see Trout right there. Susan and I have several bands. Our latest band is called The New Trout, and it's named after Trout. We're gonna do what I call the Groceries Suite. It's a suite of poems that I wrote. It'll be self-evident as we start. Okay, here we go. Poem number 10. I ordered groceries. They are supposed to come sometime between 12 and 2, and it is now 12:55. I figure I will just write poems until the groceries come. Poem number 11. In the unlikely event that the previous poem were to be accepted for publication, I would entitle it Until the Groceries Come. That seems like a fine title for a poem. It's actually a good title for a whole book of poems. If every time I ordered groceries and then wrote poems until the groceries came, I would have a shitload of poems. Perhaps a shitload of shitty poems, but a shitload nonetheless. A shitload is a shitload is a shitload. Poem number 12. I am hungry. I hope the groceries come soon. Poem number 13. Poem number 12 was just a joke. I don't plan to eat for another hour anyway. And I don't plan to eat anything that is scheduled to arrive in the order of groceries that I am waiting for. Okay, now this next poem, number 14, actually became a song, and it appears on the latest Silk Cut release on Bandcamp. And it's called The Groceries, and it goes like this. To keep writing poems until the come. Maybe a song would be less humdrum. The words I could know, the tune I could hum. La-di-da and lum-de-lum, I wonder when the groceries will come. La-di-la and lum-de-lum, I wonder when the groceries will come. Write the song I could play, but I don't feel like doing that today. La-di-la and lum-de-lum, I wonder when the groceries will come. La-di-la, lum-de-lum, I wonder when the groceries will come. La-di-la and lum-de-lum, I wonder when the groceries will come. Yeah. R.B. Corbett wrote the music for that one, and yes, it's on the new Silk Cut record. Next is poem number 15. Okay, if the groceries don't come after I finish writing the next two poems, then I'm going to stop writing poems and do something else. Poem number 16. Sometimes they leave the groceries outside the door without letting me know, and then I get a text letting me know that the groceries have been delivered, and then I go and open the door, and there they are. I'm going to look, but I almost hope they aren't there because I have another poem I want to write. Okay, I checked. They're not there. And this is the final poem of the grocery suite. Poem number 17. Once there was an order of groceries that either had or had not been delivered. They were either outside the door or they weren't. According to Schrodinger, the groceries are simultaneously outside and not outside the door until someone opens the door to determine whether the groceries are there or not. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I just checked and the groceries weren't there, and that's true, the groceries weren't there. But that was then. This is now. And now the groceries could be there. The quantum state of the groceries both being and not being there will continue until I can confirm that the groceries have arrived, or until I decide that they are never coming. The second scenario is somewhat less likely. I am still confident that the groceries will come. They may even be here now. Hey, guess what? The groceries have arrived. The groceries have come. I suppose this means I am done writing groceries until the groceries come.
As long as you've got your head in the clouds and are looking out over the horizon, you'll always find the eternal frontier.
Those magnificent men in their flying machines, they go up till they up, they go down till they down. They enchant all the ladies and steal all the scenes with their up till they up, and their down till they down. Up, down, they're flying around, looping the loop and defying the ground. They're all so frightfully keen, those magnificent men in their flying machines. They can fly upside down with their feet in the air. They don't think of danger, they really don't care. Newton would think he had made a mistake to see those young men and the chances they take. magnificent men in their flying machines. They go up tilly up up, they go down tilly down down. They enchant all the ladies and steal all the scenes with their up tilly up up and their down tilly down down. Up, down, they're flying around, looping the loop and defying the ground. They're all so frightfully keen, those magnificent men in their flying machines. Those magnificent men in their flying machines. They go up tilly up up, they go down tilly down down. Those magnificent men, those magnificent men, those magnificent men in their flying machines.
And there we have it. The Eternal Frontier with their magnificent men and their flying machines. Before that, we had Cow by Eric Vitner, a film by Eric Vitner, The Grocery Suite by John S. Hall, and the Freaky Mutant Weirdo variety show theme song by a group called A Halo Called Fred.
Hey, I heard of them.
Yes, they are.
I love a Halo Call Fred.
What?
Well, I think you're the person who just appeared.
You know,
shirt and everything.
Speaking of A Halo Called Fred,
Wow.
I hear that Queenie, the violin player of A Halo Called Fred, has a gnome business. And do you want to tell them about this particular gnome, Queenie?
There's gnome business like gnome business. All right. Anyway, I made this little guy here. This is Freaky Mutant Weird Gnome. And he is available to whoever wants to bid, whatever the highest bid we get, which will all be donated to Elijah's Promise. You get this lovely homemade sock gnome for your collection. It's one of a kind, and there's no duplicate. Check him out. He's ready to go.
So the way we are going to do this is, because we don't actually have auction software, we're going to ask you if you are going to donate. Whoever wants to win that gnome, post in the comments that you are bidding on the gnome and how much. And whoever wins will will bid that much to Elijah's Promise from the link provided on the site. And Queenie will get in touch with you and make sure that you get Freaky Mutant Weird Gnome.
He's one of a kind. He's special. And he's ready to go. I even found a pickled colored flower. Look at that. That's
Nice.
Look at that.
Today. So.
And now, as we move along, it is almost time for the next segment of the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show. It features Scott Helland, Guitarmy of One.
Children.
Oh, yeah.
How are you all doing this afternoon?
Whoa, we paused.
What happened?
I was just saying, it features Scott Helland's Guitarmy of One, tarot reading by Becky Tarlazzi, The Mermaid Bridge Twist by Nicole Oliva, and a song called A Little Good by a guy named Geverend Dee. And now, without further ado, we will play for you the next bunch of skits in the Freaky Mutant Weirdo streaming variety show.
Hello there, children. How are you all doing this afternoon? Well, today I'm going to recite for you a little bit of poetry.
Whoa, dude, man, no. You shouldn't recite like some poetry, dude. You know, we should do like something like totally wow and crazy and hip happening now. Yeah.
What on earth are you talking about, my dear fellow? I refuse to work with such amateurs. I'm out of here.
Whoa, later, dude.
Greetings, friends of the Freaky Mutant Weirdo variety kind. I'm Scott Helland. This is going to be my Guitarmy of One set. It's all instrumental music, kind of a spy noir, a little bit of a surfy feel to it. I have a brand new record out called The Spy Detective Collective, and you can get it everywhere, anywhere you purchase or stream. You can stream it on Spotify and I think Pandora, and you can buy it from my guitarmyofone.com website or batfrogs.com website. Yeah, so check that out. Also, I got cool stuff like this. I have a beach towel. That's pretty cool, right? Beach towels. So, I hope you enjoy all the music for this show. All cool, fun stuff. It's going to be a freaky, weird show, I think, right? So thanks for tuning in. It's good to see you virtually. I want to see you in person next time. Let's hope. All right? Be safe, be well, enjoy the music.
Rebecca, and I am here to do your May Day tarot readings. First off, we will start with a general life reading. Second will be a love reading, and the third will be a health reading. So let's get started with your general reading. Cards for a general energies reading for the month of March and the spring beyond. I'm using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck and the Earth Magic Oracle card deck by Stephen D. Farmer. So the overall impression I get here is one of an unstable foundation. It's first indicated by that Ten of Pentacles reversed. I feel like for a lot of people these days, you know, in general areas of life, like finances, home life, or even just personal, your psyche, you know, there's an unstable foundation. Things have been shaken up with these days of political and social unrest and, you know, a pandemic going on. Everybody's life has been turned upside down. And with these spring energies, everybody is ready to just jump up and get out that door and get on with their lives. So that 10 of Pentacles in reverse indicates that, you know, that general instability in most people's lives. The Hangman indicates you know, most people are feeling like they've been in a holding pattern for a long time in the past year, 2 years or so. Wasn't a time for taking action or making big decisions in your life. COVID, finances, and so many other issues in this world have prevented a lot of people from making any progress. And it also caused a lot for people to, you know, take a step back and reevaluate their lives. And now people have been, you know, starting to make changes. And with these spring energies, it's only going to get more powerful in the upcoming weeks. That Two of Wands at the end indicates that there are options in your life. And for many of you, there's several options that can be considered. It's just that you're not quite ready to decide on a path to take. So whatever decision you make regarding making a decision in your life, the energies are good. In springtime, it's a time for action. It's a time for springing forward and personal growth. So I would say that if you have been having a dilemma about anything in your life or need to, you know, make a change, this is a great time to do so. This music card, as you can see here, or harmony, confirms this idea that it's a time for action, a time for springing forward. And what I'm going to do is read from the Earth Magic Oracle deck because I think the description will give you a really good explanation of what's going on these days. So let's look that up in the book and we will read it together. And I'm just finding it for you. All right, here we go. I don't know if you can read it, but I'll read it to you anyway. This is a time of considerable harmony for you, one where the various elements in your life are flowing together smoothly. Just as in musical harmony, it is the interface of these elements that merge into a cycle of symmetry and balance that evokes feelings of harmony. The challenge is to sustain this inner accord even when there is considerable dissonance outside of your own mind, heart, and body. Note the sensations, emotions, and thoughts you experience when everything seems to be moving along well. Take 3 deep breaths and let your breath be the anchor that reminds you of this state of consciousness. Whenever you perceive chaos around you, know that it is a mirror for your inner turmoil. When you recognize this, take 3 more breaths to bring forth the memory of those moments when your life was like a symphony. Then every time you exhale, you are releasing the energy of your internal state of harmony into the world, and it will have amazing effects. So the future is positive, peeps. Get out there and shine. Next will be your love reading. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for random acts of kindness that warm my heart. For food, friends, family, music, and art. For when I said you shouldn't have, but you still knew you should. Cause right now the world could use a little good. Thanks for all the happy memories, even those that led to pain. For that first laugh after heartache, vowed I'd never smile again. For the strength to push on through when I never thought I could. Cause right now the world could use a little good. Gonna make it a habit. Don't wanna be some frightened rabbit. We're in the world we all inhabit. I hold my hand, now you can grab it. May you live in loving kindness. May you be well, be peaceful, be at ease, be happy, be swell. May you live long and prosper in your livelihood. Cause right now the world could use a little good. Let's do some good now. When science fake the muses and the moon and stars above help us live and love and live and love and live and live and love and nudge things toward that groove that we've prayed that they would. Cause right now the world could use a little good. Gonna make it a habit. Maybe I'm a silly rabbit, but may our hearts and souls cohabit. I hold my hand, now you can grab it. May we live in loving kindness and be really, really well. Be peaceful and at ease and happy as hell. Live in joy, live in justice in our global neighborhood. Cause right now the world could use a whole great big lot of good.
Hello and welcome back. Thank you again for those of us who have joined us on the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show. Now, Queenie, I see that we have, it looks like we have a winning bid on the Freaky Mutant Weird Gnome.
Yeah, I bring that back up here. I believe it was.
You're muted, Queenie.
What I see? Oh, yes, use. Let me fix that. All right.
Oh. I believe the highest bidder was our friend Barbara.
Woohoo!
Correct?
That's what I got.
Barbara.
That's what I see.
She has a gnome obsession like me, and I love her for that. And here he is. He's so cute. I'm so glad that he's going to get a good home, and all that money will be donated to Elijah's Promise.
Yeah, so Queenie, just pass it right through the screen to her and she'll take it.
Right here, Barbara. I have something going out to her. She'll get it.
Just like we did with the pickle earlier. It shouldn't be that hard, right?
Yeah, just toss it aside. She'll catch it right away.
Yay!
So coming up next on the show.
Thank you, Barbara.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt there. Congratulations, Barbara. Coming up next on our show, we have a live segment featuring the Roguish Rabbit. Now, the Roguish Rabbit, they are our official merchandise provider. They have created their own Etsy store for the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show. And they also have a game show that they run called the Crazy Circuit Apocalypse. Am I getting that right, Colleen?
The Crazy Cricket Apocalypse. The Crazy Cricket Apocalypse Game Show. Even I don't know what it's called anymore.
Well, we're going to let you take it away now. Thank you.
All right. So I guess we are live, and here we are. Most of you have played this before. You've seen this before. It's essentially Drunk Pictionary. We drink whiskey. We make my cricket draw things. And I mail things to you. So if you guess what the thing is drawing, then you get a prize. So if you win, just message me. In the meantime, I am having my beverage in an official Freaky Mutant Weirdo coffee mug. Not just for coffee. It might be coffee. It's not coffee. But we have an array of merchandise available. We literally set up a merch table in my little studio to show you all the neat things you can get. Look at that giant inflatable pickle. You cannot get the pickle. That's my pickle. But you can get them on Amazon. But everything else. And without further ado, I guess let's do the first drawing. Adam's one job. Press the C. We have everything set up because we've only got a couple of minutes.
The button has been pressed. It's a polar bear in a blizzard. One day I will be right.
Mercy says when the host doesn't even know the name. I'm like, it's not that I don't know the name. It's the whiskey.
The name is It's Our Show.
And Mercy, we love you too. Mutant bat frog. That would have been awesome. So we're used to having a full hour-long session where we just keep going back to back to back to back to back. But since we have to share the stage with so many other amazing people, we only have time to do one drawing per segment. So there will be 4 things going out today. So give it a shot.
It's the Declaration of Independence.
Mercy says you're pressing the C spot.
I only have one job.
Is it a pickle? It is not a pickle.
Wow, this one's like really covered. You can't see it at all.
I know, that's the fun because it's like it does it in random bits and pieces, and then it covers the thing. Is it a pony? It's not a pony.
It's a. Does it say Silly Rabbi Tricks for Kids?
Silly Rabbi. No. Is it Brad Pitt's mustache?
Ooh.
It might be. Well, that was a little obvious. We got to the end there, and it is a little obvious. The first person who got it was Dolly. So Dolly, send me a message with your address, and I will send you something in the mail as a prize. We figured we'd give a first shot, introduce ourselves, just in case you don't know. We're the Roguish Rabbit. We do the merch. In the meantime, donate to the thing. And if you do want to get something out of the deal, well, again, we do the merch. Get the merch. We will be back again at 9:20 to do another live segment to win a prize.
Thank you very much, Roguish Rabbit. And now, continuing on with the show.
It's time to listen to that thought-provoking poet, John S. Hall.
And now, continuing with the domestic life theme, this is called The Laundry. Poem number 26, The Laundry. It was a huge load of laundry, and anyone who saw it would look at it and think, that laundry isn't going to do itself. After several weeks, the laundry got sick of hearing this, and it hopped into 2 enormous bags, and then hopped to the laundromat and did itself, and then hopped back home. I showed those fuckers, the laundry said to itself. This raises a number of questions. Did the laundry use detergent? Did it use dryer sheets? Where did it get all of the quarters? Did anyone notice that the laundry was doing itself? Did anyone try to help? When the laundry is done, is it still laundry? When does it stop becoming laundry? When it is put away? After the laundry is put away, does it still think of itself as laundry? Does laundry get attached to its identity as laundry? Or does some laundry hate being laundry? Is there some laundry that doesn't even identify as laundry? Does some laundry organize protest marches or protest hops with slogans like clothes are clothes or dirty equals clean, we are all the same, or laundry is an oppressive bullshit construct? I'm sure some laundry remains neutral with regard to some of these issues. Some laundry never goes to protest hops. Some laundry is apolitical. I'm fairly sure that most of these laundry questions will never be answered. Sometimes the answers aren't as important as the questions. I believe this may be one of those times. I should have mentioned that too is a Silk Cut song in that album, but in a completely different version. Next is poem 143. And I also should have mentioned that like all of these poems I wrote this year, and they're just numbered in the order in which I wrote them, and I'm reading them somewhat out of chronological order. Poem number 143, In the Bedroom. It was bedlam in the bedroom. It looked like someone had a fitful, frantic night. But now the bed is made. The stuff on the floor is picked up. The pillows are back in place. It is as if last night never happened. This is poem number 155, In the Kitchen. There's a lot going on in the kitchen. The pull-up bar yearns for hands that grip. The frying pan wants to be heated up. The dishes are happy to be clean. The sink is enjoying the feeling of emptiness. The garbage was glad to be taken out. The refrigerator is burdened with the felt sense of items that must be discarded. The cupboards are less concerned, but even more overburdened. The track lights need to be properly installed. There is a lot going on in the kitchen. I'm glad I'm in the living room.
Look up in the sky, you know they're there. They're coming to get us, so you beware. Earthquakes to the left, tsunamis to the right. You better party hard, cause it's your last night. Monkey porn, it's the end of the world. It's monkey porn, it's the end of the world. It's monkey porn.
gears turn round and the sky's opaque. I went for a stroll beside Kraken Lake. I'd be safe from harm if I was in La Brea. California steaming on such a rainy day. Stopped into a pub I found along my way, where I ordered up a pint and I pretend to pay. You know the creature like the cold, it knows I'm gonna stay. California steaming on such a rainy day. Turn round and the sky's opaque. I went for a stroll on a rainy day. If I hadn't seen it, I would leave today. California steaming on such a such a rainy day.
Oh
Thank you, Nicole Oliva, our resident opera singer and mermaid at the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show. She's the only person I know of who does dual duty as both an opera singer and a mermaid. And I found out last week, also a horror movie director. So you can check out her movie called The Doll Collector. I believe it's on YouTube if you search for The Doll Collector, Nicole Oliva. Now, as we head into our next segment, we've reached the first hour of the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show, and I want to introduce to you a very special behind-the-scenes person, Mr. Michael Whitehouse. He is our master control operator, making sure everything streams very smoothly here. And I understand, Michael, that you have virtual events available. Would you like to say a word about that?
I do. So I'm overseeing this whole event from my my satellite perspective, high above everything, because I am live by, as you can see. But I run virtual events such as this one, and if somebody else is out there being like, I wish I could have something as amazing as this, well, you can't, because you can't be as amazing as this event. But I wish I could have something produced as amazingly as this. I can do that for you. So reach out to me. And I do, for the more seriously minded of you, I do a business conference as well called Conference 21, also virtual, less music, but more educational. So all that stuff's right down there below in the thing there. So definitely reach out to me if I can be of any assistance. You can find me by the email address, or I've been commenting, so you can find on Facebook as well. So, and thank you very much, Geverend, for giving me the chance to be part of this. This has been awesome. I'm loving it.
But of course, we've already gotten a whole lot of comments from people who are very impressed with the professionalism of this presentation, who are used to our normal slapshot craziness. So thank you again for helping us pull all this together.
Yeah, look at all these people applauding and giving thumbs up and stuff.
Well, now I understand people were very upset that they lost their chance to bid on the gnome so early. We do have another item to auction off if the Eternal Frontier is available. Professor Adam Smasher from the Eternal Frontier, are you available right now?
Indubitably, I am, my good man. How are you this fine day? You are looking swell. Oh, look, there's the big guy himself.
There he is.
Hello, Baron
Hi, kids.
Von Zippel.
Good to see everybody. And we're having a really, it's a really fun time. Such great performances and really awesome. You know, you guys, thanks, Geverend, for putting it all together.
Oh,
We are all together in different locations.
And thank you guys for all of the contributions you've made to the show, including contributing the pickle, which has somehow turned giant size again. And what is that pickle holding right now?
That pickle is holding a plane that was used in the making of the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show segments via the Eternal Frontier. So on this side, Herr Baron Von Zippel is piloting. Can everybody see that? And on this side, yours truly, the Professor Adam Smasher the professor is piloting, and the good Baron Von Zippel is co-piloting. You see, when it's a dirigible, the Baron pilots. When it's a plane,
always
I get to pilot, and I'll co-pilot on the dirigible, and vice versa, you see. So anyway, for those of you that were jaded that the gnome went so early without kind of direction, this little artifact here makes several appearances in the Eternal Frontier Freaky Mutant Weirdo videos. We would love to offer this up for auction. It is, however, I have a disclaimer, it is very fragile. The wings have been broken off of this no less than 4 times in the making of this video. I think a T-Rex is eating my pickle. I can't really help that. But there is also this teeny little tiny plane, okay, you see that? Which is essentially the same thing without the Baron and Professor icons in the windows. But we would like to offer both of these items auction separately. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Can you hear me, Professor?
I can hear you.
Yes. I was going to say, why don't we, because we have a few other things to auction off throughout the night, I'm going to suggest that we auction those off as a package. So whoever wants the 2 planes of the Eternal Frontier that were used throughout the show, we can auction those off in the same manner we did the gnome. Just put however much you want to bid and put it in the chat.
Lady Dawn, go over the other way. Go. No, wrong way. I concur.
I say as a pair. Let's just say yes.
All right. So
and I'm
people
really excited because
it's a great idea.
That pickle plate has detachable wings.
No.
Yes.
It's
So
a
those
pickle
of you
plate
at
with
home
detachable
who want
wings, not reattachable.
And they detach. They'll detach at the most random times, mostly when I'm handling it.
Go get some more.
If you want a piece of Freaky Mutant Weirdo history, bid on those planes in the chat and make that donation to Elijah's Promise, and those pickle planes can be yours.
And I have a pickle and a T-Rex. I don't know what they mean to the Freaky Mutant Weirdo show yet, but I would advise everybody to stay tuned. And the good Baron, we love you. It's good to see you, big guy.
That's good to see you all.
I haven't seen you in at least a couple of hours.
Yes, indeed.
Coming up next in the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show, we have another song for those of you fans of Scott Helland, Guitarmy of One. Another song of his is coming up next. So
awesome.
We've got lots of other great stuff, lots of other things to auction, and keep those donations coming in for Elijah's Promise.
Next one is called poem number 216, 401k song. It's good to have a 401k. I like to check it every day, but sometimes I wish I wouldn't peek. I've lost a lot of dough this week. Sometimes I leave my money where it is longer than I should. Blind faith or just greed, either way it's not good. But maybe next month things will turn around. Often things go up after they come down. I pray to the market forces in the sky, keep me from selling low and buying high. And this one is called poem number 206. It's in 4 parts. Part 1. If that yoga mat was a fruit roll-up, it would be one big motherfucking fruit roll-up. Part 2. If Robert Smithson's spiral jetty was the size of that yoga mat, people probably wouldn't travel to Roselle Point just to see it. Part 3. If that yoga mat was the size of Robert Smithson's spiral jetty, it would not fit in the living room. Part 4. If there was a fruit roll-up the size of that yoga mat, I wouldn't want it in the living room.
Our next act loves us all. It's a halo called Fred.
Here's how to get a million hits on YouTube. A 3-step guide to make you fly above the common rube and make your content shine even brighter than a flash cube. It's how to get a million hits on YouTube. Step 1, $1 million for corporate back. Step 2, your hits with lots of clever Russian hacking. Step 3, super sexy, keep the horn dogs whacking, and that's how you get a million hits on YouTube. Wait, but maybe that won't cut it. Maybe this is it. Step 1. Start a cult of mind control and lots of brainwashing. Step 2. Pretend only you know the truth that they keep squashing. Step 3. Lies daily just to keep them watching, and that's how you get a million hits on YouTube. I think we finally got it. Let's go see if that worked. How to get a million hits on YouTube. We'll make it really easy, just like solving a Rubik's Cube or Goldbach's conjecture, refilling the toothpaste tube. It's how to get a million hits on YouTube. Here we go. Get those hits up with a rockin' violin solo, Queenie. Uh-oh, still not quite enough. Well then, here's the real steps. Step 1. Be a total dick that no sane mind could ever like. Throw a tantrum, feign remorse, apologize forever like. Take it back, blame the system, name it something clever like. How to get a million hits on YouTube. And then we can finally watch those hits roll in, at least till we get canceled. How to get a million hits on YouTube and generate excitement like a glimpse of side boob and drop more records than Dre, Snoop, and Ice Cube. It's how to get a million hits on YouTube. Woo! Think we did it. This magic formula works like a charm.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. On the road, there's ghosts ahead. Or you're having nightmares sleeping in your bed. Or maybe battling the evil dead. You friend me.
Oh, you've got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me.
You got a friend in me?
Friend strong with you. Just a force. Are you trying to take over the world, of course? Could this song seriously get, like, any worse?
Cause you got a friend in me, Papa Smurf. Oh, clumsy. You got a friend in me.
Some of the toys might be small like I am. Or bigger and hungry, too. Yikes! But none of them will be able to protect you. The way I do. Yikes, it's me versus you, Skullhead.
Or as the years go by. Like we'll eat lots of pizza pie, dudes.
You're going to see we're simply meant to be.
You got a friend in me. Hey, you got a friend in me, Doc. Oh, you got a friend in me.
Hey, Magoo, turn around. The audience is that way.
Oh, there you are. I am Magoo. You've done it again.
Thank you very much. Here we are, an hour and 18 minutes into the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show. We have our very special guest commentators, Chelsea Goodwin and JP McClendon here. Do you guys have anything to say about the acts that we have going on here?
Well, I do. The big surprise of the night for me was, in all seriousness, the Baron, the great Baron von Tippel. I mean, the great Baron von Zippel. I mean, I know he works for the Water Commission, but I didn't know he had that kind of pipes. Very well sung, Baron. Very well sung indeed.
Well, so a very positive comment from Chelsea. I have a feeling Professor McClendon is going to have a very negative comment to balance that out somehow.
Too much talent. Too much talent. Put me on and drive our numbers down.
There you go. Well, we put you on in very small doses just because of that. We don't really want to drive people away just yet. How about the rest of the Halo? We are all here now. We want to give a great shout out to Louise Howard of Brute Force Studios for animating us in these very outfits in our last video.
Yeah.
Colleen commented up, this is a hat that the Roguish Rabbit helped make. So visit their shop and they can make beautiful things like this. And then maybe you too can have it animated in a video, although that doesn't come with their shop.
Yet.
And I also believe the next thing we do need to announce, as soon as I let my cat back out of the room, he just came in. We have a winner of our pickle planes.
Who is it?
Dolly St. Germain.
Dolly.
Nice.
Thank you, Dolly.
Right.
$46. And I do believe Joseph Kennedy had said he would match whoever bid the highest.
Wow. Okay. Awesome.
So, Joseph, you now have to, yes, he said he has to reduce his physical items, but will match bid for bid the planes. So, Joseph and Dolly together, that's $92. Did I do my math right?
What was the bid?
Yes, you did your
We're
math right.
performers. We don't do math.
Awesome. So congratulations to the lucky winner and the lucky non-winner who gets to donate just as much as if he did.
Yay.
Yay.
All right.
All right. And now I do believe it is almost that time again. Speaking of the Roguish Rabbit, they made my hat. They make our Freaky Mutant Weirdo merch, and now they're going to play another edition of the Crazy Cricket game. Did I get it right this time? Oh.
Closer. Crazy Cricket.
I read circuit when I see cricket. Cricket. Whoa. It's something like what you see on the bottom of the screen, but spelled right.
And again, in case you haven't noticed, we do merch, and there's lots of merch. Buy the merch. All the proceeds from the merch go to Elijah's Summit. You too can have a lovely beer mug to drink beer or whatever you so desire. You might even drink coffee out of it. It's still not coffee. And with that, it's also still not coffee. Let's get us into another drawing.
Wait, what's my job?
Press the C. Now remember, the game is guess what the cricket's drawing. If you are the first person who guesses what it is and you have not won a prize already, then I will mail you a prize. And with that, we have another drawing that will take exactly 1 minute and 11 seconds to draw because we tested everything before this. What's it gonna be?
Is it a ginger sunbathing? No. Too soon.
It's not a polar bear in a snowstorm.
It is not a polar bear in a snowstorm. Is it?
Is it spiders? Spiders!
It could be spiders.
Please don't let it be spiders. If there's spiders in my cricket, then we are done. And the only answer.
Wait, does it say naked? No.
I think somebody got there. Let's see.
Oh yeah, because I can't see the comments this way.
Oh, that's right. Adam usually can see the comments because we're on a different, streaming method. It's a little different for us, so he can't see. Only I know who won. And technically, Dolly figured it out first, but Dolly's already gotten a prize. So let's see who got there second. In my stream, it looks like Sandra Blomberg got the Halo logo. So please send me a message either on my regular page, which I'll be commenting on the stream, or at Roguish Rabbit. In case you don't remember, that's us. Not only do we have Etsy, but we have a Facebook presence, and that's a good way to get a hold of us. And in case you forgot what this is all for, donate. Donate to the thing. I know Michael's dropping links in there, but I was happy to have my little sign.
We're high tech in our own way. Ooh.
And as we started this segment again, don't forget, there's merch. Buy the merch. All right. And with that, we will be back again at 10:01. We'll see you then. Woo!
And I've just got to share, I love how excited everyone was because I'm watching the comments here, and you're all so excited to type Halo that nobody could actually type it right. I saw we got hey look up Fred logo. We got the Halo Fred Loho. Oh no, I guess it was just Dolly got so excited she couldn't type it right. But then, of course, Halo logo all lowercase. But when you're doing this kind of thing, you got to be quick. And so grammar doesn't matter. Just get it out there. All right. Back to Geverend with the actual show.
Thank you, Michael. Once again, look for Michael and Conference 21 for all of your live virtual event sharing needs. And now, on with the show. We have another tarot reading number 2 by Rebecca.
Rebecca, and I'm here to give you your Mayday love reading. I'm using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck and the Romance Angels Oracle deck from Doreen Virtue. I pre-shuffled the cards and laid them out here, and let's get started. So the overall energies here are one of protection, self-protection, protecting your heart. The past year has been so traumatic and just unprecedented isolation for so many people. And people just don't know how to reach out again. I think we've been isolated for so long, and the dating scene is so different with COVID. People can't get out and meet each other anymore. It's been really difficult. And so people have turned inward and really just, it was a time, this past year has been a real time for self-reflection. So that Nine of Wands, that first card with the man holding the stake and defending his ground, he's, you know, in protection mode, self-protection, doesn't want to get hurt anymore. And he wants to open himself up to love, but he just doesn't know how. And he's stuck in this vicious cycle in his life. And that Queen of Cups indicates a person who just a general emotional imbalance or cut off from your feelings of isolation, the inability or just not knowing how to give love or reach out to other people. And that King of Swords is the need for objectivity, or whether just trying to change your perspective on life, or even going out and seeking advice from somebody who is a trusted friend, or is, you know, can just help you put things into perspective. So how do we open up ourselves to love again? That's only something you can answer, but you can start with, you know, letting go of that sense of protection, which is so difficult right now during this time of COVID. And it's just, how do we reach out again to other people? And the best thing to do is just open your heart and start talking to people again. You know, reach out to friends that you haven't seen in the past 6 to 9 months or even more, and start to set up some time with people, get together in small gatherings, socially distanced if you're not vaccinated, of course, or, you know, get on a dating site. There's so many people out there in the same boat as you, you know, you're not alone. So that's about it for the energies. Self-protection, feeling isolated, not knowing how to reach out again. The future's bright. That general reading that I did prior to this one shows that we're going to the world's going to open up for us again. Springtime, the weather's getting beautiful. You can get out again, go on long walks and bike rides, start seeing your friends in small gatherings, and just open your heart again. The Romance Angels card that I pulled helps reinforce this message. It says it's safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And I'm going to read from the Romance Angels book that gives more detail about this. Here we go. This card indicates that you're protecting your heart from hurt because of painful relationship experiences. However, the angels can only bring as much romance as you'll allow inside. If you have a shield around your heart, how is love to get in? A closed heart repels the sensitive partner you're trying to attract. Following your inner guidance will protect you and simultaneously allow you, let's turn the page, allow you to feel loved and loving. Trust your intuitive senses with respect to other people's trustworthiness, and open your heart to those who are kind and gentle. Ask the angels to bring caring individuals, including a romantic partner, into your life, and they'll do so, provided that you listen to and follow their guidance. So that's your love reading, peeps. Open your heart and get out there. There's a wonderful person waiting for you. Bye.
I'd say the show is going well so far. What do you think? Hey everybody, it's time to listen to that guy with the detachable headwear, John S. Hall.
Hello. This one is called Sensitive Artist. I am a 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 sensitive artist. Nobody understands me because I'm so deep. In my work, I make allusions to books nobody else has read, music nobody else has heard, and art nobody else has seen. I cannot help it because I am so much more intelligent and well-rounded than everybody in the whole fucking universe. I stopped watching television when I was 6 months old because it was so pedestrian and stupid, and started reading books and going to recitals and art galleries. I don't go to recitals anymore because my hearing is too sensitive, and I don't go to art galleries anymore because there are people there and I can't deal with people because they don't understand me. I stay home reading books that insult my intelligence and working on my work, which no one understands. I am sensitive. I am sensitive. I am a sensitive artist. I am a sensitive artist. I am a sensitive artist. I'm sensitive. I am sensitive. I am a sensitive artist.
That was Sensitive Artist by John S. Hall, originally done by his band King Missile, which some of you may remember from, I believe it was the late 80s and early 90s. They were definitely doing the college music scene. One of my favorite moments in a previous Freaky Mutant Weirdo variety show was when we did a mashup of his song Sensitive Artist and our song Sensitive. We played that together, and it was, our song was in no way subconsciously stolen from that song right there. But right, Brushwood?
Yeah, I steal from nobody, or I steal from everybody because it's rock and roll.
That's right.
Forward.
Of course, rock and roll. Right, that's rock and roll.
Stealer.
I love you. Okay.
We borrow. We don't really steal. We appropriate.
That's true. But
Great artist steal.
in the spirit of not stealing but giving,
I'm not that
we
great,
have
so I just
another
borrow.
great auction starting right now. Queenie, do you want to tell us about it?
Yes, I do. I would love to. So in the pandemic, I came up with a few things. Like, you know, things were hard and we lost a certain amount of work and everything else, and things slowed down. But in the process, we have a amazing vegan Bloody Mary mix that you may love. It's called the Bloody Good Mix, the Betty's Bloody Mary Review, Bloody Good Mix, and we would love for you to try this. There is no fish products, no meat products. It's all homemade. It's refrigerated. You know, we can't can it. It's just amazing on itself. And why are you laughing at me, Geverend? I hear you back there.
That's not me.
No, it's you. Anyway, we want you to bid. We will give you the best Bloody Mary experience you could ever ask.
It's true. I have had it many times. It is a very
It's a
delicious
wonderful mix.
mix.
We
Now,
don't know what to do with it, but we're trying.
Queenie, are you able to ship this, or does it have to be people who live local to
We
the?
shall ship. We can ship, of course.
All right. So there you go. Highest bidder, Bloody Mary mix.
Delicious.
The Betty's
Absolutely delicious.
Just drink it
Mary
right out of the
Bloody
bottle.
Good mix.
Right?
Go!
Vodka. It's that good. It's that good.
Drink the Bloody Marys.
Oh, and the
Yeah,
other
Bloody
Betty
do
is
make it all
commenting.
better.
Bloodies make it all better.
Sure
That
does.
is a pickle Betty.
They do make it all better.
Have a freaky mutant weirdo pickle with your Bloody Marys. If I do
Oh
say
my
so
God.
myself.
So if you took a pickle and you cut it in half and you put some bloody in there, that is the best Bloody Mary pickle shot you could ever have. Ever.
All right.
Excellent.
I agree.
So now I noticed that the Eternal Frontier is on this call with us. Did you guys have a song coming up? I think you wanted to Annette introduced, right?
We do indeed. Herr Baron, allow me to introduce this segment with some commentary from Thoust, and the next one's all you, big guy. Okay?
Go ahead there, Wild Man.
Rock cheese. I believe you meant to say rock cheese. Yes.
Rock cheese?
Yes. So anyway, thank you for bidding on the pickle planes. I crafted them painstakingly over the course of probably 10 days. The big one broke like 4 times in the making of the videos that you will see forthcoming. I don't know what's happening behind me. It's not my fault, seriously. But anyway, the point
can't control
is
that.
February Street. February has an R in it that nobody pronounces. Nobody enunciates the R. That's not the point. The point of the song is many moons ago. Moons. I dated a lady who had a picture on her table in her living room of a friend, a childhood friend who passed away very young. His name was Marcello. February Street, subtitled Marcello's Song, okay, is my vision of what this picture on her end table transmitted to my mind. It was a very captivating image. A young man, a very good-looking young Argentinian man in the back of a limousine, toasting with a glass of champagne to someone that he obviously appreciated that person. It was a moment caught in time that could never be repeated. Anyway, we give to you as the Eternal Frontier, February Street, with the Baron vocalizing this. And I wrote this song in about 1992, and I could never find the right vocalist to perform the piece until I met the big guy right there. That big guy. You see, I'm poking him in the eye.
I'm crying.
The big guy. I love the big guy. Listen to the big voice of the big guy. He nails it. February Street by, is it T? This and then something like this. Whatever it is. Is it backwards? Is it the right way? Geverend, help me. Help me, Geverend.
T-E-F.
There it is.
The Eternal Frontier. That's, yeah. Starting
alien over here.
You know, it seems like any dork weevil and guy who has a nose big enough to rival Gonzo the Great can get invited to this party.
The Eternal Frontier in February Street. Let's go. Let's watch.
I stare at you through a picture frame. Your eyes seem so alive that I believe you still see me too when I kiss your face goodnight. As my tears seep through the window, you're behind, and we meet again each time I close my eyes. On February Street, where dead hearts start to beat, I feel your presence again. I'm with you, my friend, as we toast in the clouds and you sing out loud. this picture frame, it wouldn't set you free. It may release my anger towards your senseless history. Through the pieces I'd reach in to take your hand, and the pain you knew I'd share with you at last. On February Street, where dead hearts start to beat, I feel your presence again. I'm with you, my friend, as we toast in the clouds, and you sing out loud while chasing our dream in that limousine. Down February Street, February Street, February Street.
Alright, put your hands together. It's time for our next act. It's Derf Delac Aloha. Alright, now who flipped my cue cards around? I mean, really. Nothing but practical jokers and wise guys on this set.
Baboon, crazy circus freaks, chicken head bite computer geeks. Check your phone for security leaks, clear your calendar for weeks. Dolls and crazy guys and crazy aliens in disguise. Ask no questions, tell no lies, tight lips and loose ties. What kind of party is it? Wanna stop in for a visit? What kind of party is it? Come on in, ain't got no prerequisite. Whips, change your monkey brains, throbbing music, throbbing veins. Treasures the world's best pleasures and pains, filled drinks and assorted stains. That kind of party. Free diamond rings, free cash, free debit with angel wings. Free radical, revolutionary, stop like kings while Elvis sings. That kind of party we throwing? Mind if we keep it going? I don't mind. What kind of party we throwing? Stick around, there ain't no signs of slowing. All the drinks and all the foods and all the attitudes. Magic fire, a flexible flyer, a guy walking 3 miles up on a wire. People who dancing around and conspire, going higher and higher and higher. That kind of party. 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 That kind.
Hi, this is I'm Open. I'm open. You can enter me. You can exit me. Never have to ask. I'm open. Open my head.
Thank you. That was I'm Open, John S. Hall covering one of his own songs he did back in King Missile. Before that, we did It's That Kind of Party, a song we recorded at Woodrock Studios in Raritan. We dedicate that song to Carmen Verderosa, who passed away, the owner of Woodrock Studios, who helped us out on that song. He contributed guitar tracks on it as well. And sending that song out to you, Carmen. If we can, let me look up the old schedule here. I believe we have another instance of the Crazy Cricket Apocalypse game show. Did I get it right this time, Colleen?
We definitely would, but I don't see Colleen in the back stage.
Oh, did we
right
lose
now.
Colleen? Did we lose the Roguish Rabbit?
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Let's see. We got. Well, you know what? We're a minute early on the schedule. It says they're on at 10:01. So obviously, you know. Well, in the meantime, then, why don't we? Because it's a live show and we can do these things. Why don't we shuffle things around just a little bit? Oh, just got a message from Colleen. They need to be let back in.
Let back in. Oh, there they are.
Now.
There you go. Okay.
I found them. They're right there.
We found you. We found you and your big pickle. What? So I think I got it right this time. It's the Crazy Cricket Apocalypse game show.
There you go. You got it.
Third time's the charm.
Yep.
There it is. Crazy Cricket Apocalypse.
So
game
we're
show.
back again with another Crazy Cricket Apocalypse game show. See, even I remembered this time. And we want to get in on this auctioning off things. And we have decided we want to give up our giant 3-foot-tall inflatable pickle. So bid on the pickle. It's huge.
And as you know,
Careful with the giant pickle there. This is Facebook. You know they got rules.
all right. Well, so as you know, we do the Freaky Mutant Weirdo merch, but not just that. We also have haberdasheries. Come to the Roguish Rabbit. We do lots of haberdasheries. These are actually smaller, but you can't tell because I zoom in. Custom work. Wait, could you put Bloody Marys in that? Yes, you could. Oh, this is some of our cheap stuff. Ooh, this is probably less cheaper, but I don't actually know yet. It's custom. I don't even think that one's for sale. All right, but we have lots of stuff, and we have a event next week.
We have a giant pickle and another drinking vessel. So in case you don't want the beer glass or the coffee mug, there are also pint glasses. Good for your Bloody Mary mix as well. All right, let's jump into the next drawing. It is your job. Press the C. Dun, dun, dun. What are we going to do this time? This drawing will take exactly 1 minute and 10 seconds to draw. What could it be? Who could it be?
Is it the Abominable Snowman in a blizzard? No, that's we did that already. No,
it's still not. That's still not a polar bear in a snowstorm.
no, yeah.
Put your guesses in the comments.
I have no idea. See, I used to make fun of the comments, but I can't see them. I am blind in a sea of whiteness.
Dun-dun.
It's Mr. Magoo's driver's license. I get to see those comments. Wait, I can see them. That's weird. All right.
Mr. Magoo's driver's license. All right.
Heather already has some pint glasses, and they're quite lovely.
We've already sent out several pint glasses, some shot glasses, a coffee mug. We also have a flask and t-shirts. Get your t-shirts.
Is it Mother Earth?
Is it Mother Earth?
No, it is not. It's not.
Who is it?
Wait, that's it?
That's it.
Wow.
It's a short one.
Jeez, okay. Well,
Anybody get there? It is still not a bat frog. I should have done a bat frog. Didn't think about it.
A mermaid.
A mermaid
No.
is...
I see Mersmid.
No, I see mermaid. Oh, I did see
Mermsid.
Mermsid. Okay.
Oh, the yarmulke.
But the thing is who is the mermaid? Who's our mermaid? It didn't draw as well as Joey Papa got there. It is technically Nicole Olivia. She sent me this beautiful drawing of a mermaid, and I managed to apparently butcher it.
It's an outline.
So just a reminder, get your merch. We do the merch. Donate to the event. And please bid on the giant pickle. It's huge.
So who are we calling this one?
And that's it for us. We will be back again.
Soon.
Is the winner the
10:42?
Mersmaid?
Who do we decide was winning? It was the...
Joey Papa got there.
Oh, it was actually Nicole. Okay. Gotcha.
Yes,
Joey.
there he is.
Good job, Joey.
Ooh.
Speaking of Nicole Olivia,
Joey,
I think we
do we
have
know
one
you?
of those around here.
Hi.
Oh, look, it's the real thing live.
Yes, it's a real thing. And this is my friend Bosworth Skeffington III. He's got a regal title. He's a ferret. You might have seen him dancing around Halo's video a little while ago. And he was also wearing this lovely pair of steampunk wings, or at least bat wings with the gold trim. These go really well with a bunch of different things. You can put them on your plushies. You can put them on your ferret. You could put them on... they're actually meant for a bearded dragon, but it just worked out so well for him. I just need to get a pair. And... if you put in the comments that you are bidding for this pair of wings, you could win one in the next segment. And coming up next, we also have something miniature and doll related. So I hope you stay tuned and enjoy Army of Dolls, sung by myself and puppeteered by Dennis Carter Jr. Say bye, Buzzard.
Live, or is it Memorex? Listen to Nicole Oliva and decide for yourself.
How do you look into a mirror? Were you too tired to fake a smile? Should misery warn, would you look thinner? Reality is bitter. It's your hand and yours alone that grabs the way. The dolls who let their voices into your head, under your skin. Fix your face up, you will never fit in. Do you want me? Do you want me to break your bubble now? Do you want me? I will break it, make it loud. Do you want me? Do you want me to break your paradigm? These rules were made by us, they break you up inside. Army of dolls, stole your reflection. Army of dolls, stole all your perfect imperfections. Don't shut them out, just let them into your head. You really think misery tastes so much sweeter, served with a perfect smile. Do you want me? Do you want me to break your bubble now? Do you want me? I will break it, make it loud. Do you want me? Do you want me to break the paradigm? These rules were made by us, they break you up inside. Don't you look into the mirror. Army of dolls are just so bitter. Wave that apple, follow the leader. Never have seen a face much sweeter. Don't you look into the mirror. Army of dolls look just so bitter. Wake that apple, follow the leader. Never have seen a face much sweeter. Do you want me? Do you want me to break your bubble now? Do you want me? I will break it, make it loud. Do you want me? Do you want me to break your paradigm? These rules are made by us, they break you up inside.
Hey guys, once again, happy to get everybody out here, including the band, The Eternal Frontier, the steampunk band from New Jersey that's going to play at the Gaslight Gathering. Hopefully, thank you for taking us out here today. That was great. Thank you, Southwest!
We love you.
Got on board a westbound 737. Didn't think before deciding what to do. Oh, those talks of opportunities, TV breaks and movies rang true. Sure rang true. Seems it never rains in Southern California. Seems I've often heard that kind of talk before. It never rains in California, but girl, don't they warn ya? It pours, man, it pours. Out of work, I'm out of my head. Out of self-respect, I'm out of bread. I'm underloved, I'm underfed. I wanna go home. It never rains in California, but girl, don't they warn ya? It pours, man, it pours. Won't you tell the folks back home I nearly made it? Had offers but don't know which ones to take. Please don't tell them how you found me. Don't tell them how you found me. Give me a break. Give me a break. Seems it never rains in Southern California. Seems I've often heard that kind of talk before. It never rains in California, but girl, don't they warn ya? It pours, man, it pours. It never rains in California, but girl, don't they warn ya? It pours, man, it pours. It pours, man, it pours. It pours, man, it pours.
I believe I am muted. I'm going to say that again. That was It Never Rains in Southern California with the Eternal Frontier. And the Eternal Frontier will be joining us to discuss that song and the making of that video.
Well, that was awesome. We had a really good time. Just to start off, they do things a little different. California was a lot of fun. They had huge groups of people working on projects. And, we like I said in the comments, we opened for Abney Park, and Doc Phineas was there, and I mean, a host of characters. So we had a great couple days out in California, and that was San Diego. And I always loved the tune. Professor and I loved the song, so we just.
Do I hear the Baron?
Yeah, that's me, dude.
Is that the Baron online?
I'm on. Can you hear me?
I think someone's got sound on their Facebook live feed, and it's on a delay, so it's coming back in.
No, we fixed all that stuff.
No,
Okay.
I shut mine down then.
Hi, Baron.
Are we okay? You can hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I've been able to hear you the whole time.
Can you hear all of us? Can you hear all of us?
Yes.
Awesome.
How you doing, Professor? You guys doing good?
This is
What is that?
This is Thomas Edison. Nikola Tesla hates him, but this is Thomas Edison. Anyway,
That's very nice.
the point is of this video that it is a retrospective of the Baron and my time spent in San Diego, California, at the Gaslight Gathering in 2019.
The good old days.
What was that? What was that, big guy?
That was the good old days prior to COVID.
Indeed, it was. So anyway, the point is that this video was a retrospective of our trip to San Diego, California in 2019, whereupon we engaged with multitudes of steampunks from the West Coast, including the Starburners, whereupon the Baron von Zippel and the Lady Donna were awarded Starburner status, and the Atlanteans, who are friends of ours, they also embraced us. And, obviously you saw Abney Park performing with the Eternal Frontier, which is something Abney Park has never done with another act. And yet they interacted with the Eternal Frontier because they love us and we love them. And Captain Robert, especially, thank you for joining us in that rendition of your song, which was actually Aether Shanty. Baron, help me here.
You lost me, but I'm really digging it. I'm digging where you're going. They were great. They had, we love performing with them. You can see some of the shots in the video when they were like doing a sound check. We were outside playing songs as well. Just impromptu, got together with a couple people from the band and we're, the violin player, and had a great time. So,
and Doc Phineas, Kenneth Kassler. He got up and performed Octopus's Garden with us.
They did. We had a great time at that. That was a wonderful conference. Out in the West Coast, they do things a little differently. They had entire groups of people focused on putting vignettes together. They had like 15 people working on this giant X-wing steampunk fighter plane, and you saw that little steampunk R2-D2. And then there was a whole other group of pith helmet wearing architect explorer guys. It was fantastic.
That ship was called the Cornukai. That was the Cornukai. It was an X-wing fighter.
That's right.
A steampunk X-wing fighter.
They did a great job. Really, we enjoyed that a lot. But hopefully we'll get back to doing some events out here when the plague is over.
Hopefully we will. I think
soon.
This streaming event that we're doing now, if all goes well, next year's event, and I know we have a long time to plan for that, will be a combination of actually live in person and streaming. So we'll see how it all goes. We're going to figure all that out. But
that'd be amazing.
It's going to be the best of all worlds. So thank you, the Eternal Frontier.
Woo!
Geverend.
And now I would like
Geverend
to
and Halo, we love you.
We do love you.
Back,
Love
man.
you all, actually.
Chelsea Goodwin here has something to say about Nicole Oliva's wings, which are still up for auction, I believe.
Yes.
Do we know what the high bid is right now?
What is the high bid? Last I heard, the wings were up to $10, and I believe there's a misunderstanding here. First of all, I want to make sure that everyone understands these wings were actually worn by Boswell Skevington III. Now, while it's true that there are many, many weasels in Burke's Peerage, there are very few ferrets.
Yes, I was gonna say he's not a weasel, he's a ferret. And Bosworth went to bed, so I have a ferret plushie that is modeling them right now.
Nicole will autograph these wings.
Yes. If you'd like.
And may I remind you that we are raising money here to feed humans, and completely uncharacteristic. I'm not trying to feed humans to Cthulhu. I'm not trying to feed them to my sharks, not even the baby shark.
Or my sharks.
We're actually trying to raise money so Elijah's promise can go on with the good work of feeding people who are going hungry in New Jersey. And I know it may be hard to imagine that bad things happen in New Jersey, but I assure you I'm from there. That should say it all. So may I invite everyone to once again consider an autographed pair of wings that were
with an adjustable strap to fit any stuffed animal or real animal, as well as a bigger size cuffs to go with them.
The high bid is only $10 right now, and these are for a great cause. So we encourage you all to bid.
Yes.
You can have some awesome wings and feed the hungry at the same time.
And they're autographed by our own opera diva, Nicole Oliva.
All right. Thank you very much, Chelsea and Nicole. Now, moving on to our next segment of the show, we have coming up, we have more Guitarmy of One. We have another solo song by some guy named Geverend Dee. We have another interesting short film by Eric Vitner. We have a beautiful cosplay performance by Dennis Carter. And we have another one of my absolute favorites, King Missile songs by John S. Hall. So stay tuned for all of that coming up right now.
hear the crying of the hungry in the deserts where they're wandering. Hear them crying out for heaven's own benevolence upon them. Hear destructive power prevailing. I hear fools falsely hailing to the crooked wits of tyrants when they call. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear the sound of tearing pages and the roar of burning paper. All the crimes and acquisition turn to air and ash and vapor, and the rattle of the shackle far beyond emancipators, and the lowliest to gather in their stalls. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. So while you sit and whistle Dixie with your money and your power, I can hear the flowers growing in the rubble of the towers. I hear babies quit their crying, I hear leaders quit their lying, I hear soldiers quit their dying, one and all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. Waterfall. Hear the gentle Lamb of Judah sleeping at the feet of Buddha, and the prophets from Elijah to the old Paiute Pavaka take their places at the table when they're called. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld a merry sight. My monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. He did the monster mash. From my laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast, the ghouls all came from their humble abode to get our throat from my electrode. They did the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. They did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun. The party had just begun. The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking over, jigging the sound. Igor on chains backed by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker 5. They played the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. they play the Monster Mash. Out from his coffin Drax's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. Opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "Whatever happened to my Transylvania twist?" It's now the Monster Mash, and it's a graveyard smash. It's caught on in a flash. It's now the Monster Mash. Now everything's cool, Drax a part of the band. And my Monster Mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent you. Then you can Monster Mash and do my graveyard smash. You'll catch on in a flash. Then you can Monster Mash. Mash good. Easy, Igor, you impetuous young boy. Hey, back to the lab I go. Happy Halloween!
Or you want to introduce it, maybe?
Hello. This one is called Jesus Was Way Cool. Jesus was way cool. Everybody loved Jesus. Everybody wanted to hang out with him. Anything he wanted to do, he would just do. He turned water into wine, and if he had wanted to, he could have turned oregano into marijuana, or sugar into cocaine, or vitamin pills into amphetamines. He walked on the water and swam on the land. He would tell these stories and people would listen. If you were blind or lame, you would just go up to, well, actually, if you were lame, Jesus would go up to you, and he would put his hands on you, and you would be healed. That is so cool. He could have played guitar better than Hendrix. He could have told the future. He could have baked the most delicious cake in the world. He could have scored more goals than Wayne Gretzky, or danced better than Baryshnikov. Jesus could have been funnier than any comedian we could possibly think of. Jesus was totally cool. He told people to eat his body and drink his blood. That's completely hardcore, but then some people got jealous of how cool he was, so they killed him. But then he rose from the dead. He rose from the dead, did a little dance, went up to heaven. I mean, that is so cool. Jesus was way cool. No wonder there are so many Christians. Jesus was way cool.
Thank you, John S. Hall. That song, I have to say, I remember the first time I heard that song. It was the day I was driving to college many years ago, 1990, when I was first driving to college. I had on the college radio station. I had my car filled with all the stuff I was moving into my dorm. And that song just changed my life. It changed my whole concept of what a song could be. And so very proud to present to you on the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show, Jesus Was Way Cool. Now, I believe we have, what is our, Michael, do you know what our top bid is on the wings right now?
Top bid on the wings. Let's see. I think it is, I'm thinking it's this one, Andrew Terranova at $15.
Is there a 15 or did I see
No,
it?
wait,
20?
wait.
I think I saw 20. Jeffrey Turner.
20. There's a
Jeffrey
20.
Turner.
It is
So I
late at
believe
night.
that
Sorry.
the
yes,
Roguish Rabbit is about to do their very last Crazy Cricket Apocalypse game. And in that, they're going to announce the winner of the pickle. And so I think when that game is over, if there are no more wing bids, we will also announce the winner of the wings. And don't forget, for those of you who have won your bids, be sure to make your donation to Elijah's Promise at the link that Michael will put on the screen right now, if he has it at his fingertips.
Right now, put that right now on the screen. Right now, there it is.
Which
Yep,
is also
right
on the Freaky Mutant Weirdo live event page. So please, and if you haven't bid on anything, your donations are so strongly encouraged, because now more than ever we really need the donations. There's a video also on the Freaky Mutant Weirdo event, the Freaky Mutant Weirdo page, where they talk about all the great things that Elijah's Promise has to offer for the community. So please donate. And now, without further ado, if they are still, if they haven't dropped again, here they are. Yay! The Roguish Rabbit.
There they are. Yep.
We are good. We are here.
And I fixed the spelling on the
banner. My drinking
so
receptacle
it's
has
now.
shrunk down to the lovely shot glasses that are still available on our Etsy page. So, without further ado, as well, we'd like to announce the winner of the giant inflatable pickle. And if I am not mistaken, the last bid I saw was Edward O'Connor with $28 for the giant 3-foot pickle.
What are you going to do with that pickle? We don't need to know.
So, since this is our last time, we always have been, we always will be, the Roguish Rabbit. Get your Freaky Mutant Weirdo merch. Like us, visit us. And once he's done panning, we will do the very last drawing of the night.
And don't forget to find us at Roguish Rabbit Facebook.
All right.
Where are we going to be?
We're everywhere.
That's how to find out.
All right.
Oh, wait. I have one job.
Press the C. What's it gonna be? Dun, dun, dun. This is our longest drawing of the evening. We had other drawings that we wanted to do. Like we had a really great one for Dennis that we wanted to do, but we just ran out of time. And we had a really nice one for Eternal Frontier, which was beautiful, but it ran for a total of 2 minutes and 52 seconds just for the draw. It was a little too long for our segments, but we want to give a shout out anyway.
Maybe we'll do it some other time if we do this show again.
Actually, we're hoping to get this back on track again. Maybe doing a full-scale 1-hour show in 2 weeks.
Check the Roguish Rabbit for more details.
All right, Joe Kennedy says it's a pickle named Rick.
Ooh,
not a pickle named Rick.
That's a sour pick.
Although I believe we did pickle Rick on our very, very first Apocalypse Game Show.
Oh.
Like last year in March, which we debuted this on the eve that we were supposed to have the in-person Freaky Mutant Weirdo. We were just so sad that we didn't have anything to go or anything to do. We were kind of locked up. So that's how Crazy Cricket was born. It was just, it came from Freaky Mutant Weirdo. Oh, let's check the comments. Eternal Frontier boxer shorts. We do merch. We could make that happen, but it's not that. It's the Freaky Mutant Weirdo show banner. It looks like Andrew Terranova got there.
Oh. So the good news, you win. The bad news, you have to get this now.
But the good news is you win. And I don't know how you feel about this, but I know where you live. Well, enjoy. Thank you for having us on Freaky Mutant Weirdo. We love you all. This was so much fun. We hope you enjoyed it too. And we'll see you soon.
Woo! All right. Thank you, Roguish Rabbit. And congratulations to our auction winner. I believe that not only do we have that pickle auction done now, we also have the wing auction. So the winner was the $20 bid that we had previously. Jeffrey Turner, correct, yes. So congratulations to our 2 lucky winners, and we appreciate your donations to Elijah's Promise. We are getting into the home stretch here of the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show. We're going into our last tarot reading of the evening, followed by one more song by the Eternal Frontier and another Trio of Madness song coming up. And then following that, we have, for the first time on the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show, a live lip sync to a live video that will be filmed during this show. So we look forward to that. And now, on with the show.
Hey peeps, this is Miss Rebecca, and I'm here to do your health reading for the month of May and the spring beyond. I'm using the Rider-Waite Tarot deck again. I have pre-shuffled and dealt the cards. For your Oracle card, I'm using the Earth Magic Oracle deck again. So let's get started. So the overall energies here are ones of not being disconnected from your intuition, from your body, from your mind. I think a lot of people have been in isolation for the past year or so, and I think a lot of people have been stuck in their minds. But I think there's a couple of different interpretations here. That Ace of Swords, to me, indicates the need to get back into objective reality, to get out of your head, to really start reassessing your life, and that could also apply to your health. This card is the card of science, for trusting science and trusting, our medical leaders, especially, it's especially poignant during this time of the pandemic. A lot of people, if you haven't gotten your vaccines, it might be a good idea to get vaccinated. It's not just for yourself, but for your loved ones and for your fellow humans. We can't reach herd immunity without full participation or close to full participation in the vaccine programs. So that's that Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords could also indicate, I think I mentioned before, a need for objectivity, rationality, logical thinking. Start evaluating your life from that perspective rather than sitting in that holding pattern that we've all been in for the past year or so. The High Priestess is telling us to, don't lose touch with your sense of intuition and knowing. The Ace of Swords indicates action, whereas the High Priestess indicates stillness. So, that perfect balance of rational decision-making, trust in science, and also coupled with that High Priestess, your own personal intuitions and knowing what's right with you will help you make the right decisions regarding your health and your physical and mental health. That King of Wands on the end here warns us against obsessive behaviors or excessive behaviors. Don't go overboard with substances or food. Try to get some balance back into your life. The overall energies of these three readings, if I can just think of one word, it's balance. Bringing your life back into balance. And your health doesn't only indicate, physical health, it also means mental health. So seeking, advice from a doctor or a counselor or, self-help, whatever works for you, would be, they're all good ideas for this time right now to help bring your life back into balance. The Oracle card I pulled is the Love card, or compassion. And this means love for yourself, having compassion for yourself, giving yourself a break if your self-esteem has been low, or if you haven't been taking care of yourself very well during lockdown. Don't feel bad about it. Just get over it and start again. There's, no reason why we can't improve on ourselves at any time in our life. This time, notwithstanding. So what I'm going to do is read from the book. It'll give a little more explanation of this card. I'm going to find the page here, and in a moment, I will read it to you. All wounds stem from the illusion of separation from Source and all of creation. The route to healing this wound is through cultivating love and compassion for every being on this planet, including yourself. Not a bland standard of unquestioned acceptance, but a heartfelt sense of profound relatedness to whatever you perceive as apart from yourself. True compassion requires not only the feeling of warmth that emanates when you are in touch with your heart center, but in acts of kindness, even if this simply means being a fully attentive listener. Respect the fact that your heart is a giver, putting out electrical energy, and a receiver, drawing in magnetic energy. These energies are best sensed by attending to the steady flow of your breathing while also noticing your heart area. Righteousness, fear, anger, and judgment are some common ways to block your natural desire to love. Forgiveness is not only letting go of judgment, but also seeing through the illusions that you and all that is are separate. Look about you and inside of you, and do your best to love whatever you see. Thanks for listening.
Our next act has more bells, whistles, and accessories to their person than my car. Here's the Eternal Frontier.
If you're driving down the road and your auto catches fire, that's a pretty bad thing for sure. And while a major inconvenience, it could always be worse.
You could be on your way to a wedding.
Your own.
You could be trying to get to the vet with your cat.
Or goldfish. It never is as bad as it could be. It always could be just a little worse. You start your day with a nice cup of coffee. You may end up being carried in a hearse.
What's worse than being carried in a hearse?
Say you rent a wood chipper, but you just can't get it started. You swear and cuss and yell at the machine. Imagine if it starts right up and catches your suspenders. When you chip to bits, you'll know just what we mean. It never is as bad as it could be. It always could be just a little worse. You start your day with a nice cup of coffee. You may end up being carried in a hearse.
Seriously? That's the worst.
Your airship's behind schedule as your travel plans unravel. You telegraph and say you will be late.
Really late.
That is bad as we all know, but there's a worse scenario. Listen now, I'm sure you will agree. The airship hits a twister, it gets all topsy-turvy. You spill your tea and vomit on your friend. In a fireball, you crash into a truck filled with chickens. Wouldn't you really feel bad then? It never is as bad as it could be. It always could be just a little worse. You start your day with a nice cup of coffee. You may end up being carried in a hearse.
Excuse me, sir, you've got your vomit in my tea. You've got your tea in my vomit.
You need someone special who's everything you've dreamed of. You give your heart only to be spurned. As you pine, you hear through the grapevine your ex-soulmate's jailed for murder first degree.
And littering.
It never is as bad as it could be. It always could be just a little worse. You start your day with a nice cup of coffee. You may end up being carried in a hearse. It never is as bad as it could be. It always could be just a little worse. You start your day with a nice cup of coffee.
Then you might get your top hat flattened.
Oh no!
You may end up with a really huge splinter.
That's really ouchy.
Why do I always lose a T-Julie?
It could always be worse.
That was Showering at the Bates Motel by Trio of Madness. Yeah, one thing about instrumentals, you don't know the name unless you hear the name. And that was what that one was called. I don't know. I'm picturing in my head like an interesting video image to go with that. But speaking of videos, for our next segment, we're going to try something brand new that we've never tried before. Now, who is going to lip sync along with our new song with us? And by lip sync, I mean dance around, do what you got to do. We're going to try to do a live music video. We're going to kick off this very last segment of the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show with some really interesting things. So any of our backstage performers who are going to be joining us, there's Tiny. I believe Brushwood is going to be joining us as well. Let's see. I think Chelsea had offered to join us if Chelsea's still around. JP McClendon, are you still there? Are you volunteering as well? All right. And so here's what's going to happen, right? Michael, are you there? If Michael is there,
I believe I am, yes.
We're going to play the next segment, which starts out with a song. And but there will be no video. I mean, there will be just a picture. But keep that video either small or off screen, and we'll just play and lip sync along, and we'll see what comes out of it.
All right, I'm going to push this button, and I don't know what it's going to do. So
okay. The other thing I'm going to recommend is that anybody who is going to make noise in the background, mute yourself until the song is over. All right. Here is If You're Going Through Hell, Keep Going by A Halo Called Fred.
If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. Till you make it to the other side. When I was vanquishing the foes I'm hating, I accidentally sold my soul to Satan. I said, you're joking, you must be mistaken. Was too late by then, my soul was taken. But did I let that get me down? Did I just concede defeat? Did I lay down and let myself burn? Or did I hop back on my feet? If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. Till you make it to the other side. I learned that playing God was pretty foolish. Back in the lab when I made something ghoulish. If it was evil, then it didn't show it. Till it wiped out all life as we know it. But did I let that make me sad? Did I fill the world with cries? Did I say that's the end of that? Or did I make a much nicer guy? If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. Till you make it to the other side. If you got a hangnail, keep going. If you've had an epic fail, keep going. If a jerk just showed up, keep going. If your planet just blew up, keep going. If your armpits start to smell, keep going. If your world has gone to hell. The Big Bang Theory seemed like an abstraction till I started off that chain reaction. I thought perhaps the theory was outmoded, but when I tried, the universe exploded. And did I let that make me blue? Did I let that get me off track? Did I cry, oh, the universe is gone? Or did I watch the new one grow back? If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. Till you make it to the other side. If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. If you're going through hell, keep going. Till you make it to the other side.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
You're in. Come on.
Well, not yet.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You're in as soon as the song's over.
Dance around. Dance around.
We made it to the other side of hell, and the giant dancing pickle was there with Professor Adam Smasher. Oh boy! All right,
It's over.
so moving on. Is the video paused right now, Michael?
There you go. You were trying.
Yes, the video's paused.
There you
All
go.
right. Before our next song, if Nicole is still online, I believe she had some words to say about this last song.
Hi.
We're
That
all
was funny. All right. So speaking of funny things, I have a funny story for you. So the next piece, more of a little introduction to the funny stuff. Next piece is called Diva by an opera singer by the name of Tarja Turunen. She's my absolutely favorite opera singer. She's a lot of opera and metal, which is what I love, and I hope to be more and more like her. But in any case, this next song has some overtones of fun nauticalness. So since I'm a mermaid and I work in an aquarium, I thought I would ask about getting permission to film at the aquarium, which I did. Keep in mind when you're watching this video, I've got the eels and the sharks behind me, but in front of me, there are two otters running around their enclosure trying to figure out where is this noise coming from. I'm just over here, and they're just freaking out, and I am doing my darndest not to laugh so I can just get this done in one take so we can close up and go home.
All right. Thank you, Nicole.
We can laugh at it now. I don't mind all the burning daggers piercing me, shaping me, turning the flame on you. I revealed my escape, sweetest mutiny. Ship was sinking deeper and deeper and deeper on top of you. Oh, how does it feel now when you stay on? You are in your own hell, couldn't get out of your own I have the fear out of this forest swearing conspiracy. Just look at me, just look at Diva, 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 Diva. When you chiseled, you see, so delusional, almost got me started to question my sanity because of you. I've been tasting the salt, couldn't stand all the rats on board. I walked down the plank as the curtain fell down on you. Oh, how does it feel now with you stay on? You were in your own hell, couldn't get out of your
that is our show. Thank you, Susan, for help. It was
My
wonderful.
pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Adam, for asking. We love the Freaky Mutant Weirdo show, and hope to see you again next year. Bye.
Well, everyone, it was a great show, but we've reached the end of the festivities.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming out. For those who stuck it around to the end, we love you all. That has been the Freaky Mutant Weirdo Variety Show. And Michael, thank you for all of your hard work. Everyone, patronize Michael and Conference 21 and use his skills for your own virtual events. And we'd like to bring everybody who's backstage, who's still backstage at this point, back up. Is anybody else still backstage right now? Geverend Dee, Nicole Oliva, Roguish Rabbit, JP McClendon, Chelsea Goodwin, Brushwood Tiny, all of us here. We just want to say thank you very much. Thank you for those who bid on things. Thank you. Oh, Heather, thank you for enjoying this evening.
That's been great.
I know the two of you, I have seen your comments the entire show, and I appreciate how much I appreciate you spending time with us this evening for this good cause. We don't have the final numbers of how much we raised. We're going to have to run a report with them in the next few days, but we'll post it on our website. And does anybody have any final words before we roll the credits?
Fire merch. Please do generously Elijah's promise. Hunger is an all-round thing, not just when we're doing a show. Please do remember to give to feed the hungry.
Well said.
Yes.
Here, cheers.
All right.
And a great show you put together, Geverend. Great job.
Thank you very much. We couldn't have done it without you and without everybody here and without all the people who you are about to see mentioned in the credits, which are going to roll right now.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Don't accept any wooden nickels.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Sayonara.
See you later.
Enough is enough. The Geek on Geek violence stops now. Sing along with our anthem to geek unity. Doesn't matter if you think Edward Cullen beats Gandalf in a fight. Doesn't matter if the gears on your goggles rotate left or right. Doesn't matter if you dress like a zombie with the blood and the guts and the grunts, or you just wear a plastic Halloween costume with Aquaman's picture on the front, because I envision a world where the gamer and the fanboy can stroll in the sand. And I envision a world where the rennie pets are furry with their silken gloved hands. So all you mudbloods that we feared, all you mustachios and beardos, all you freaky mutant weirdos, heed the call. We love you all.
Bye, everyone.